Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today's video is about dynamic data masking. Dynamic data masking was introduced in SQL Server 2016. It provides a limited access to the sensitive data like credit cards, PAN, SIN numbers, or social insurance numbers. There are different functions for data masking which we can use, like partial, default, email, random, and every function has a different composition of hiding the sensitive data, which we'll go through in this video. Typically, dynamic data masking can be used in case we are going to provide a user kind of a view to the data without compromising and exposing sensitive information to that particular data. Okay, so let's see the dynamic data masking actually how it works in SQL Server. So let's say we want to create a table called as customer where we have different columns like first name, phone, email, or salary. Here we are using the masked with the function, and we are going to use the partial, default, and email and the random function. So what happens is when we create the first name column, so we are saying, hey, it is going to be masked with function partial. So the first character would be displayed as it is, and then it would be masked by all the other characters, and the last character we are giving as kind of a 0, so it means we don't want to even display the last character also. So that's what the partial function for masking would work. The phone number is just like a function, a mask function with default, which specifies like all the phone number characters or numbers, whatever we enter, they are going to be masked, all of them. And in case of email, we are giving email as one of the masking functions, which would we'll see like how it is going to mask. It would probably not mask like .com or whatever the domain name is. And then let's say there is another column, salary, which is masked with function, and it is going to be a random value between 1000 and 5000. So it means whenever the user views the data, so the values which would be visible to the user would be certain values between 1000 and 5000. So the actual salary would be hidden. So let's create this table and insert some data. So firstly we'll create this table. So the table is created, and I'm just going to insert some random data into customer table. We have phone, email, and salary, and then let's supply the values. Let's say I'm just going to supply my name. The phone number is, let's say, it's an variable character, so we are going to use some random phone number, and okay, and then we have is the email. I'm going to supply my email address, and lastly the salary. So let's say we are giving some salary like a random 10,000 number. Okay, and we insert into this. Okay, so the record is inserted. Now if I want to see the record which was inserted, so we just run select star from customer, and when we say see the records are like, to be surprising, they are not actually data masked. The data would be shown as it is the way the data was actually pushed around. So in order to make dynamic data masking working, we need to actually create a user and give him certain rights to view for this table only, so that that data, once actually viewed by some another user, is actually data masked. So let's try creating a user, and then we'll try to give him the access for this data, and then see whether the data is actually shown in some another way or not. So we create a user, let's say test user without login. For simplicity purposes, we are just creating it without login, and then we say grant select on customer table to test user, and then we simply say execute as user is equal to, so we say test user, so because we just want to execute the commands as test user, and then finally we say select star from customer. So if we execute these 4 commands in order, so and if we run it, so if we say and see, the user is already created and it is given some access right of a select on that customer table to the test user, and then we executed that particular command like select star from customer as a test user. So if you see this, the resultant is full-fledged in the same way as the functions were returned around in the case of the data being masked. So the first name, we had a partial function which was primarily like the first character is going to be visible and rest all are going to be dot dot dot, and then the last character like the 0th character, we don't want to display that also, so there is nothing being displayed. The phone number is just like a default which just displays some 4x marks, like we just hidden the whole of the phone number, we didn't want to really display that. The email, if you see, is like masked by all the characters except for the first and the @ sign and the domain name. And the salary, if we can see, it's a kind of a random number that was generated by SQL number by the masking function between 1000 to 5000 and then displayed it over here. So we can see this is one of the greatest features that's available in SQL Server 2016, where we can actually like restrict the access of the sensitive information even though the user has to access some kind of a data from the production database or from the UAT database or a test database. By this way we can provide him the access, let's say for some kind of a viewing or some kind of a troubleshooting or some kind of other purposes, but still we are hiding that data with the help of a dynamic data masking. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. This is a small but very powerful feature, and people who have worked with extensive database applications, they would find this feature very, very useful if they have already implemented it, or probably they want to implement this feature in their upcoming projects. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll be back again with another video, probably on Azure or some another good feature that can be helpful in your projects. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. Thank you.